Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we've gathered here again today. And this time, we are going to be talking about Return to Oz. And let's go straight first. Let's go to Alex and Susan, what they made of this film.
I didn't realize that I've seen this movie 4 times in bits and pieces. It is an unofficial sequel. At the time when this was made, it was 1985. The original movie was in 1939. That wasn't totally black and white, or wasn't a Japanese or German version cartoon of The Wizard of Oz. And what was it, 13 books that he wrote, and I think these are based on the second and third one. And they had Sam Raimi do a version. I guess they're going to do another version next year. They have a Muppet version from, 10, 12 years ago. This isn't
They do.
Yeah, this isn't a bad movie. It's a very weird and bizarre movie, but I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the books. I don't know. I don't know if I would read all 13 books anyway. I think I read about 4 of them. The special effects are good. The cinematography is very good. The dialogue's good. I like Fairuza Balk. I don't like pumpkin heads that are talking. I like my pumpkins in a pie, which they did mention in the movie. The TikTok,
but he was in the books. Yeah. Can I just say he was in the books? Yeah.
Yep. The TikTok character is a cute idea, but the other problem is I think everybody knows the musical version from 1939. So I think that's what 95% of the people are going to remember. And it wasn't a great movie, but it was very charming and it was entertaining, and they haven't really done a better version since. They had the all-black African-American version in 1978, and some of the singing and the songs were good by 3 or 4 people. But the design was strange, and the writing was very adult, and it wasn't adult in a mystical way. It was adult in a let's blame the cities and the politicians kind of way. Like I said, I like it better than some other book series, but I'm not a huge fan. I like the original musical, and of course it looks great on the big screen. I don't know if this looks great on the big screen. It might look a little nasty, and I didn't like the heads. That kind of creeped me out a little bit too.
Oh no, I like that bit. The heads
and the human
cabinets.
Yeah,
the heads and the cabinets.
Yeah, and then I guess that they had a lot of problems with this movie, and they couldn't figure out about the silver slippers versus the red slippers, and then it ran over budget.
It's ruby slippers. Hold the phone. It's ruby slippers, and the only reason why it's ruby slippers is because the film before it made the ruby slippers so iconic that they weren't going to go back to the silver slippers, which were actually in the book.
Right, exactly.
And then I think they had to pay to use.
Yeah, they did.
The ruby slippers in this book.
They did.
In this film. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other issue that you have with this whole series is that unfortunately the musical version that everybody knows with Judy Garland and such is so popular. It's been replayed 1 trillion times on television that I think every other version is going to suffer because of it. So that's the other thing. I mean, that's like having, a book that sells like 1 trillion copies. Every other sequel, every other book talking about it is probably not going to do as well. Anyway.
Even though this is probably more true to the actual books than the original.
Yeah, it is. Right, but then there's the other issue of, unfortunately, watching this movie isn't as fun and as amusing and as pleasant as watching the musical. Not that the musical didn't have scary parts, because the Wicked Witch is scary, and the flying monkeys are scary, and the fireball and other weird things in that movie are scary too, as the Wiz as well was a little bit scary with the biker monkeys as opposed to spider flying monkeys or whatever.
The Wheelers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean in The Wiz is the monkeys on the bikes, motorbikes,
Oh, right, yeah.
motorcycles. So yeah, it's a little strange. I mean, I like the idea of the series, but it just starts, like I said, it just starts inventing creatures and inventing things that, you know, I'm a sci-fi person. I'm not really a fantasy person, so I'm already holding something against it as it is. But like I said, cinematography's good, the acting's good, the dialogue is good, I think. But visually, it's just not pleasant to me. So yeah, what do you think, Susan?
Well, I enjoyed watching it. It's from the what is it? The two books are Ozma and Oz,
Yep.
and the Return to Oz. I think I can't remember what the other book title is called, but the I read the series as a child, and I enjoyed the series as a child, and I have enjoyed this movie. It was visually interesting and wonderful and fanciful. It was good. It was, and what Brian Henson is involved, and Brian Henson is now basically the owner operator of the entire Jim Henson enterprise. So you know, he did his own thing once in a while, but now he's pretty much sincerely involved with the other. And I thought that the acting was wonderful. To be surprised by Jean Marsh is always a great surprise, because she is a fantastic actress. The other ones, the other heads, whatever, were okay, but Jean Marsh is she's brilliant at being wild. I mean, I love her in Battlefield, the Doctor Who Battlefield episode, and I love her in some of the other things that she's done.
Do you know who she was married to?
She's married to Pertwee.
Yeah, well, was a long time ago.
Yeah, she's married. She was married to Pertwee, and and that was, I mean, but whatever. She was a properly scene-eating villainess, and I thought that it was great, and the wheelies were fun, fanciful creatures, and the other Alex and you have already talked about, so that's my bit.
Yep, let's go to Brian, see what he made of Return to Oz.
Right.
If he's there.
I'm here. Right, so Return to Oz. What my thoughts upon this movie is, it's honestly enjoyable. I absolutely love the movie, because it's a bit of a different take upon it's a bit of a different take on like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, the original, you mean? Yeah, it's not a remake, is it?
It's not.
It's not a.
It kind of feels. I mean, to me, it kind of feels like a sequel. I mean, in a sense, it kind of is. But
how can it be a sequel? Because Dorothy's a lot younger in this.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's one of the things
I
was going to get to.
So it can't be a sequel because Dorothy's a lot younger.
Because they mentioned, I was just going to say, like, they mentioned, like, the tornado that hit, and
it is a sequel.
Yeah, but she's younger in this.
I know she's younger in this, but this happened 6 months after Oz, Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
so she's like several years younger.
I know, but Julie what's her face, Garland, because she's dead.
No, but it's not a sequel anyway. It's not a sequel to the film. It's just.
It is. They even said that in the movie.
And if she was so traumatized by the last event that happened 6 months before, she's really going to be traumatized after this one, isn't she?
Well, yeah, I think that's the whole thing.
Because she couldn't sleep because she was traumatized.
I mean,
And it's like, well, after this, she's definitely going to be traumatized.
I mean, you think that's the whole thing. I mean, Oz the Great and Powerful is like a prequel to the whole franchise.
Yeah, I saw that. That was okay. It was okay. I think the last half was better than the first half.
So, but yeah, with Return to Oz, I absolutely love it. I mean,
can I just say they are making Wicked as well now? Wicked's coming out next year.
Oh, great.
Which is the beginning of the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes,
which is the stage show. And apparently the stage show is amazing, so hopefully it's good.
I mean,
anyway, carry on.
With the Return of Oz, I mean, I think I love it as equally as the very original one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay.
Wizard of Oz is always going to be a classic, but I think I like Return as equally as the original one. There was so many different. There's so many different things within this movie, though, like the Wheelers, Tik-Tok, the Jack the Pumpkinhead, and the chicken itself.
The chicken was great.
But I've noticed, like, again, as they did within the original, the actors that most of the actors anyway, like played the people that were in Oz was the actual people within the real world.
Yeah, I like that they kept that. I like that they kept hold of that. Yeah.
They did that within the original one.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Hold on.
All right. Let's go to Lee then. We'll go back to Brian after. Oh, you're right. Yeah. All right, then carry on.
I'm still here. Sorry about that. I kind of see about like what you guys are mostly saying, like the costume designs and looks of the creatures, because Tin Man, Cowrie Lion, and Scarecrow do not look the same at all. I mean, you don't really.
No, wait there though. Wait there. These were as they were in the book. These were as they were in the book. This is how they look. So this is the original design.
Yeah, when the original design for.
So actually, it's the first film that's wrong.
That's the original design for the children's book, but that's not how you looked within the.
But this isn't a sequel to the actual film.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's only called. It's not. It's not the sequel to the film. It's the sequel to the books.
No, it's a sequel to the film.
No, it's not. That's why that's why it looked different. Like the lion actually looks like a lion.
Lee, can you come in here, please?
No. Anyway, Brian.
It's an unofficial sequel to the film, the original, because Disney had to pay a hell of a lot of money to MGM to use the ruby slippers. That's the only connection to the original movie.
Yeah.
And you've got the ruby slippers. It is enough.
I love that the bearded man, the trolls.
I mean, the design that they look for, the design that they had for all the creatures, even look like it would be in a children's book.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and the feel of the movie that I had was, it kind of felt like cheesy.
Cheesy? I wouldn't say cheesy.
Well, cheesy classic. Well, not well.
No, I wouldn't say cheesy. I wouldn't say it was cheesy.
It's like it has like trying to describe it like maybe classic feel to it, like movies.
Oh, you mean a fairy tale feel to it?
like movies like Labyrinth or Never-Ending Story and everything.
Do you know what I thought of Never-Ending Story? I thought it felt a lot like the Never-Ending Story.
And Labyrinth.
And maybe that's because of the young princess as well. You know, the young queen, which was in the Never-Ending Story as well.
I felt a lot of like Labyrinth or Never-Ending Story.
Yeah. Especially the Never-Ending Story, I thought.
But I honestly feel I honestly feel like I like the other designs, the original one.
The originals, yeah. Well, they're just people in costumes. They're just, basically people in costumes, yeah.
I mean, I also noticed that of course, the Tin Man and Cowie line was turned to stone within this one. You didn't really get the chance to see them.
No, you didn't. No, hardly at all. Yeah.
I mean, there was the Scarecrow here and there, but other than the Cowie line and
the Scarecrow was towards the very end. Yeah.
So
once he works out about the objects, which I thought was fairly obvious, I thought, hold on a minute, it's everything that's green. Hello, Emerald City. Of course it's going to be. I can't believe she didn't work that out to begin with. But it was still good. I enjoyed it.
But yeah, I think. I mean, I don't even own the classic or any of like the Oz movies, but I think I'm gonna go out one of these days and get Wizard of Oz and Return to Oz on DVD when I have the chance. Because I really enjoyed them. I think this is absolutely a great film. And since this is my first time actually watching this film, because I've never seen this film before until now.
No, I haven't. No.
So when I get the chance, I'm definitely gonna get both of those films.
Do you know what? It's never repeated, is it? I've never seen it repeated.
We only see the very first classic original one.
Yeah, the first one gets repeated, but not this one.
And actually, the first one is going to be out in 4K soon. So, in about like October.
And it was it was filmed in the 30s as well. So
yeah, it's going to be out in 4K in October. So. Yeah.
So you're going to get that version, are you?
No, probably not. But it depends. But I don't know.
Actually, do you know what? Jean Marsh could have actually played the original witch. I think.
Who was that?
Jean Marsh. The evil nurse.
Oh.
In this film.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh heck yes. I will agree with that.
The headless witch.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's 85 now, I think. I don't know what she does now, if she still acts at all.
Yeah,
she's a really good actress.
Overall, I really enjoyed this film. And
is Linda Hamilton still with us?
Margaret Hamilton.
Yes.
I mean Margaret Hamilton? No? Okay.
No, I wouldn't have thought. No.
Anyway, you could go to like Lee now.
And this film came out before. No, after Julie Garden died, didn't it? After Julie Garden died, yeah.
Yeah, Alex says so.
So
yeah.
The funny thing is, there's a lot more animated versions of Oz than film versions.
All right. Well, let's see what Lee thinks of this film then for his opening thoughts.
It flopped big time. This, isn't it?
Yes, really it did massively. I checked it massively. Yeah.
I think the reason is, okay, it's not an official sequel, but when it was coming out, when it was out on the promoting it, there was promoting it as the sequel, and I think people was expecting a musical.
Yeah.
To be honest, and they went to see it. And they, what the hell is this? I'm bringing my kids to see this. It's a bit scary, with all the streaming heads and stuff. Yeah, I think it was not promoted well, to be honest, back in '85. Great cast, Nicole Williams as the Doctor and the Gnome King. Brilliant.
Gnome King was great, yeah. With those ruby slippers on, he looked fantastic. That did make me laugh, though, that when he revealed the ruby slippers.
It's been mentioned Brian Henson was the voice of Jack Pumpkinhead. And also with the puppeteering of that as well. Tik-Tok, brilliant design from the book. Puppeteered by Michael Sundin, who that year became a Blue Peter presenter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he only was in there for about a year on Blue Peter because sadly he passed away from age-related disease.
Oh.
But he was a trampolinist, so he was a bit flexible, so they shoved him in Tik-Tok.
But that can't have been comfortable.
No.
Strapped down like that. I mean, basically he was kissing his own arse, I
remember him on Blue Peter talking about it at the time, and he's bent down and
he literally had to have his legs in between. Yeah, and his head in between his legs. Yeah, like he had to curl up like a ball.
What you do for your art, isn't it? And I didn't know this. The Tin Man, which we don't see much of.
No, he's hardly in it all.
Deep Roy.
Oh, really?
Deep
Even
Roy.
Though
yeah.
He's hardly in it all. Yeah.
But the main cast's brilliant. I mean, Belina the chicken.
Oh, she was brilliant.
So voiced well.
But I have to say, very well animated.
Oh,
the animatronics are very good. Very, very good.
From real chicken to puppet chicken, it was,
It was really, very good. And what other effects I like was the rocks, the faces of the rocks. That was a good effect. Yeah.
And I can see where Brian's coming from the feel of the movie. He's getting Labyrinth and movies like that, Never Ending Story. This was 1985. Never Ending Story was 84. Labyrinth was 86. They were all in the same, time.
Yes, type of, they're all the same era, yeah.
I'd say the Wheelers were brilliant. I thought they were, on wheels. But any movie or any TV show with Piper Laurie does it for me. I love Piper Laurie. When she was playing Auntie M.
Yeah.
I mean, Piper Laurie for me, she's been in loads of movies. But for me, it's always Twin Peaks for me with Piper Laurie. But I don't know. It is a good movie. As you say, it's not repeated that often.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, Disney try to distance themselves away from it.
Yeah, well, it's become a cult movie. It has got a cult following now.
Yeah,
and we don't know what happened to the Munchkins.
No, we don't, do we? No.
And we know what happened to the Yellow Brick Road because we saw it all destroyed. Where was the Red Brick Road? Where was the Red Brick Road? What was next to the Yellow Brick Road?
We'll never know.
I often wondered what happened if you'd follow the Red Brick Road. Where would that go?
I mean, Lee, what do you think? Like, if they would have take this route when they made the original one, like the very first one, like, what if they would have make this movie like that?
It's into a musical.
No, not into music, but like the way that this movie was designed, and take like
the original. You mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, you couldn't have these characters singing "The Yellow Brick Road." We're off to see the wizard. That wouldn't work with these.
No, it means Return to Oz style for the original.
Yeah.
No.
So you'd have the big scarecrow head.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work with them singing.
No. Well,
what I'm on about, it wouldn't work with them singing. They have to be able to. You had to have dancers.
Not singing. Like the dark tone and
Can I just say the original did have dark tones in it.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, definitely did.
Not as much as this one, though.
It wasn't as creepy or as scary as this one.
I mean, what you've got to realise in Return to Oz, they were going to give her electrotherapy.
I know. Yeah, to the girl. Yeah, to Dorothy.
Yeah.
They were going to electrocute her.
Yeah.
They were going to literally electrocute her. They had her strapped down, and you could hear screams.
Mm.
You could hear screams of other children as she was going to get electrocuted.
That was true to the treatments what they used to do back then. That's what they used to do because they didn't know any. That's
they either did that or they did the ice pick up the nose into your cranial to do a little lobotomy.
Yeah, drilling holes into the.
Yeah,
that's talk in itself. So,
but I love the theory that
that was really, really intense. I mean, that's kind of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest intense, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
And
when that lever's going to be pulled, yeah.
And this for being a Disney movie, this is why I think it flopped so much because people going there was expecting something like the original.
Yeah.
And
a bit like their animated musicals, where they got nice songs in and nice characters.
I think Disney totally misjudged on the movie, to be honest.
No, it was the director. It was the director. Disney wasn't happy with the way the film was going, but the director said he wanted it to go. The director basically kept making it darker and darker, but Disney wasn't happy.
Well, the director was Walter Murch.
Yeah.
Executive producer Gary Kurtz.
It's from Star Wars fame.
Yeah.
Good catch there.
But I like the theory as well. That
there were two other Star Wars people.
Yeah,
one of the octopus heads guys, and then there was one of the Jedi or the rebel leaders were both in this.
But I like the theory as well that this is to destroy child imagination. Basically, the adults want to take Dorothy's imagination away. So what this film's about is, in theory, that she imagined all this. She didn't really go back to Oz. She imagined it all.
Yeah,
but that's what they used to do. That's what they used to do. If someone if someone had a different idea, what didn't conform to their ideals, electric shock treatment, that'll soon get rid of it. There'll be a gibbering.
Isn't that still legal in the UK with gay people?
Oh my God!
Conversion therapy is still legal in the UK, and I think they do use.
If it is, Alid, I'm booking you in for a session.
Holy crap!
Whoa!
Yeah, you gay conversion therapy to turn gay people straight is still legal in the UK.
You're kidding me.
No, it is still legal. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dangerous place you live in there.
They'll have the wet cut out with you, won't they? The electric bill for that. No.
What the heck?
Oh, that's
Might cause a power cut
that's dark.
across the whole of the south.
Wait till I put my curlers in, then turn it on.
Yeah. So is that all you want to say about the film, Lee?
Yeah, it's an enjoyable movie. Yeah, if you're expecting a Wizard of Oz type thing, you're not going to get it.
I think that's what Brian was expecting.
No, I wasn't.
Well, no, he says he's never seen it before, so if he's under the misinterpretation that he might have been expecting.
Alid disappeared.
Yep, Alid's gone.
I know, the light went off. Wait, I've got it back on now. I can see now.
We've been talking about electric as well.
Hey.
The next film that I probably should see next will be the Great and Powerful Oz.
That was a good movie as well.
I mean, might as well.
I mean, Alex mentioned it in passing, but I actually have enjoyed the whole story of Oz in its various forms. I love The Wiz.
I mean, I might as
To be
well.
honest,
I might as well. I mean, I saw the other two already, so might as well.
have you
But-
seen The Wiz too? That's the African American all black cast.
Michael Jackson, Diana Ross.
Richard
I've
Pryor.
only seen the original and Oz the Great and Powerful, and this is the first time I've seen this one.
Wait,
And I have to say,
what was the
Yeah.
What?
miniseries that they had about?
the miniseries.
Oh yeah, the one on Sci-Fi. He's talking about Tin Man.
Oh no! That flopped really badly. That didn't even last an episode, I don't think, did it? Before it got out
No, it did, but it was just.
It's
I mean,
the
this.
for free.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is the other. Yeah, go ahead, Lee. Sorry.
It was a three-part miniseries.
Yeah.
3-part miniseries.
Yeah, that was absolutely slammed, wasn't it?
So
No, I have to say,
I never even
I
heard
really enjoyed this. Do you know what? There's one thing about this is I'm glad it's not trying to be the original, because these days if they made a sequel to Oz, they'll just repeat the original like they do with all these films these days, just basically carbon copy, remake it. So I'm glad it's its own thing.
Well,
This
with
film is its own thing.
With
And
Oz,
no different.
with Oz the Great and Powerful, that's a prequel, and I mean, I haven't seen it at all, but the people that did you guys see it?
I did.
yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Do you know if they like mention or reference a couple of things?
No, I don't think they do. No, I don't think they do. Not from what I can remember. No,
That was like in the original or anything?
no, I don't think they do at all. No,
yeah.
no.
I mean, again, it's tough
It's its
because
own thing too.
it's tough because it's fantasy. It's an allegory. It's then everybody has seen the musical version a billion times. Everybody has seen The Wiz 100 times. Plus, they did a new version 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
That's what he's on about.
Yeah.
The Oz the Great and Powerful is the newest version.
Right, but I'm saying that the problem is everybody knows the musical version, so it's very tough to try to do the dark one, and then the real books. Right, the real books are dark. They have, things are getting animated, furniture is getting
The
animated.
dark
But
one.
can I just say as well? I actually thought this was a really entertaining film.
Yeah, me too.
I never for 1 minute got bored.
Yep.
I never got bored. I think it moves at a really good pace. It's well paced out. Actually, as well, the music is good. The soundtrack is actually very good. Even though there's no songs in this, the soundtrack is excellent. And the casting's brilliant. I mean, the young girl who plays Dorothy, she's really good in it. You really do believe that she is Dorothy and that she is sweet and innocent, but she never gets annoying. She's not an annoying child actor, which a lot of them tend to be, especially if they're in Doctor Who. Every single child actor in Doctor Who is annoying. But in this, she's absolutely perfect in the role. And the film has got some really good scenes and some really good cinematography and some really good effects and animatronics.
Yeah.
And Jean Marsh, she's just brilliant. For me, anything with Jean Marsh in is brilliant.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy this film, and I've heard so much bad things about it that I can't believe it's actually really good. And it's got such a bad reputation. Yes, it's a darker take on what we've seen before, which was obviously the original before this. But it's a really good film in its own right. I think it's really well put together. I think the story's good as well. And it's no wonder the Goblin King was frightened of the chicken, because he's allergic to eggs. And I just thought that was great how it all wrapped up, and how that girl at the beginning turned out to be the Queen of Oz. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yep.
Well, but
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good, well put together film.
Well, again, though, it's competing with the musical versions, and the musical versions are better liked than the.
I know, but I love the musical version. I love it. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. But I like that this is its own thing. This is different. This isn't that. This isn't trying to copy it. A lot of sequels, which I have a problem with, is that they just try to copy the original.
Right.
And,
Okay,
and
well.
I'm glad it didn't try to copy the original. Because let's put it like this. If it was a musical, the songs wouldn't have been as good as the original. You would have been sat there like Mary Poppins 2 thinking, it's just Mary Poppins 1. Am I right?
Huh.
You would have done. You would have been sat there thinking, this isn't as good as the original. But this is its own thing. I don't compare this at all to the original. I see this as a completely different thing, and I think it's brilliant.
Well, like I said,
I have to say, the best scene is the scene with the screaming heads and Jean Marsh coming down headless, chasing Dorothy. That is a pretty scary scene.
Not really.
Oh yeah.
Let's put you in that position and see how you cope. But I love it when you first go to the cabinets and Jean Marsh says that she wants Dorothy's head and that she's going to lock her away in the tower until she becomes more mature or whatever. And then she like takes her head off and then swaps it, because originally she has a different head. And then she swaps it for the Jean Marsh one. I just think that was so... I'm taking that's in the books.
The heads that she chooses, the other actresses are good. They're okay. But when she puts on Jean Marsh's head, when it becomes Jean Marsh, really,
yeah,
the scenery is toast. She just eats it. She just chews it all up. It's just amazing. Yep.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any favorite scenes, favorite moments?
Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Gump?
Oh,
yeah.
the two actors playing that? Yeah, come on.
I just thought with the whatever head it is it a Gnu's head and
yeah,
made out of a sofa, and what a brilliant design, and the way they did that, the animatronics on that, and say the guys who were controlling it, brilliant. Great. You feel for characters. You get the feel from, and you're feeling for a character what's part sofa. You know what I mean? As he wanders through that door to go touch some items, and he was the first one sent in there, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he gets turned into an item himself. Yeah.
So there was this Lyle Conway who was the voice, who's like a normal British actor guy, a big fella, and then there's this Stephen Norrington who was who acted the whole thing and did the thing. It's amazing. I agree.
I felt sorry for Toto not going back to Oslo.
I know Toto was a bit left out in this, wasn't he?
Yeah, but you had Bellina.
Yeah.
Yeah, they replaced Toto with Bellina.
Yeah, Bellina was in the book, so they've kept to the book.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, Toto was a bit left out in this one, but I preferred Bellina.
Of course, it's not the same dog from the original, but is it
No,
No, it's definitely not the same dog from the original.
I was just wondering. I guess it's the same breed, like the same type of dog.
No, it's not. No, it's not the same dog at all. It's not the same breed, I don't think.
Different colour as well, because the original.
Yeah, it's different colour. That's what I mean. Yeah.
So it's not.
And it's bigger than the original, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not the same breed or type of dog. That was just weird.
Then Bellina was played by Denise Beyer, the voice, and then the animatronics was done by this guy Mac Wilson, who is really known for The Little Shop of Horrors and Lost in Space and Labyrinth.
But I really like as well how the Goblin King was
Gnome King.
Gnome King. Goblin. I'm saying that you mentioned.
No kidding. Here we go. We're connected.
I know David Bowie's creepy, but that's a whole different universe.
And it's not spelled with a G. No, it's spelled with an N.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's not Goblin, Howard.
I really like how he became more human. You know, I was becoming more real instead of being part of the actual mountain.
He wanted to become human, didn't he?
Yeah, that was the whole point. Yeah, I really like that aspect of it. Yeah, I thought that was good. But I kind of understand where he was coming from about, you know, his emeralds. I mean, somebody did take those emeralds originally. I know it wasn't the Scarecrow, but somebody did really. They should really give them back.
And there was no Glenda within this one, too.
Yeah, I kind of sided with him a little bit. Yeah. What's this now?
Star Wars. And then this guy is in Star Wars 2 also. The guy who played Tik-Tok.
Oh.
He was
Tik-Tok was in Star Wars, was he? Oh, he played. Oh, right.
You mean the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michael Sandon was inside Tik-Tok though.
Yeah.
Right. Any more favourite moments? Nobody?
I still want to know what happened to the Red Brick Road.
I want to know what happened to Glenda.
You had Ozma. You had Ozma this time.
Weird.
Well, there's more than one fairy. Well,
Yeah.
There's a few in here. Yeah. But
I mean, again, you know, that's my objection to the movie.
but you got to remember, Glenda was the evil one in the original film.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Glenda was the evil one? No.
Yeah, if you go and watch the fairies of it, Glenda was definitely the evil one.
No, sorry, no.
She was the
Go and watch the fairies on YouTube.
She wasn't green.
the witch was just misunderstood.
Yeah.
No, it was. It totally was. Glenda set it all up.
Yeah.
Because Glenda could have sent Dorothy home at any time, but she went and sent her to kill the witch.
Oh, wait. Here's another actor thing. Nicole Williamson apparently played Badger in The Wind of the Willows with Steve Coogan and Terry Jones.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Okay. Like I said, the issue I have with it is comparing the books, which are more like a fantasy, you know, other thing, which, like I said, I didn't like most of the books after a while. And that's sort of more of a fairy tale combining, you know, human with animal. And it's not cute like Wind in the Willows or other things where they're basically human. The way they talk and act is basically human. And the other issue is you have black and white version before 1939, but everybody sort of, because they played it on TV like 5 billion times. So you sort of got that as the main version, and everybody knows those references. And then you have 1978 version, and then everything else, and most of it is cartoons, you know, Japanese, German, dubbed into English. So I think that's there's a huge disconnect between the books, the early versions before 1939, but that is the one that gets known, then 1978, and then everything else after that. And it is a fairy tale, but it's sort of combining human and animal characteristics, so it's not as cute as the 1939 version, where you think about it, except for the main four, the witch and the lion and the Tin Man and all that. Everything else except for the Wicked Witch and the Good Witch is, you know, very, very quick. So I think that's the other thing, is that the musical kind of gives you a hint as to what the world is, but then when you read the books, it's very, very dark.
Yeah, and as well, with the Scarecrow was going to have a movable face, an animatronical face, but they run out of budget and could only have basically him smiling. So that's why he's always got that face on, because they ran out of money to fix the rest of it.
Yeah, 28 billion.
Okay,
28 million.
lean over a sec.
Yeah,
So there was a Munchkin, okay?
Yeah.
There was one.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
fella
there's-
in the parade.
Yeah.
It was the only one, though. Are you right? You
Yeah.
guys are right.
So
They did kind of
yeah,
blow that up.
28 million. Disney couldn't decide what to do with it. They kept changing their mind. George Lucas and other big directors are watching the film getting made, liked it, convinced Disney to keep going, but then when it was released, it barely made 12 million. So
Ooh.
it's a very confused movie and a very confused studio that didn't know how to
But
market.
actually, I think it's a shame, because actually it's a really good movie. And I think it gets a lot of, backlash and a lot of hate because it's not like the original. And as well, it's a shame that Disney have tried to distance themselves away from it.
Well, the cat really, it's there, isn't it? The cat really.
But they have tried to. They've tried to forget about it, push it away in the corner.
Maybe if they were in partnership with Sony, they could have took it away with them.
Yep.
Oh, is this a Spider-Man thing?
Well, from what
Oh,
I've heard, according to Facebook, Spider-Man's back on. But anyway, I mean, there's another one that's made millions and millions of dollars. So I don't think they're going to get rid of it. Yeah, they're not going to get rid of it.
Right, let's go to final say and score. Let's start off with Brian before he falls asleep.
I'm not falling asleep. You probably are the one.
We're gonna have to strap you to a bed and electric shock you.
You know, Howard, you kind of look like the Scarecrow from Return of Oz.
Ouch.
Brian, do you want to remain a member of this group? Can I just say, you kind of look like the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a
Nice one, Brian. Nice one. All
I
right.
always thought of myself as a pumpkin.
And Lee looks like the Goblin King.
Oh dear. Here we go.
He's just missing the hat.
We're gonna be switching heads in a
Gnome
minute.
King, Rob. I keep on calling the Goblin King now. The Gnome King.
Yeah, don't
spelled like Nome, Alaska.
don't mix up.
I know. Susan's put it in my head now. Right, Brian, what was your final say and score?
I would probably give this film a 10 out of 10 in my book.
Oh, thanks for that. Let's go to Alex and Susan.
I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. Not a bad movie, and it was really enjoyable. And I'll bump it up another half point because of Jean Marsh. Okay.
Yay!
Every time I think of like the fact that she's in this, it's just
I know. I had no idea she was in it. And then when I saw her, my face lit up. I thought, oh, wow, no, I'm really into it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably give it 7.5. Like I said, the cinematography is good. The film is unique.
Electronics.
Yeah, Gene Marsh is good, but the other problem with this is, if it hadn't been connected to Oz, or if it had explained more about the world, but the other problem is the musical versions are just too popular. So it had enough. Yeah,
the one musical version.
No, there was 2 musical versions, actually 3.
Not before this.
Yeah, actually there was. The 1939.
Was there one before?
Yeah, 1939, 1978, and then they redid it again in 2015. They just redid it with a new cast.
Yeah, but
Right.
that wasn't musical. That wasn't a musical.
No, it was. It was.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
No. I'm talking about the one they had on TV that they play on YouTube now. So The
that miniseries.
yeah, when
Oh, was
ABC
it?
was redoing the musicals, they redid the Wiz.
Let's go to Lee.
It's a difficult one. This I like the movie. I like the animatronics. I like the claymation. The acting.
Yeah, claymation was very good. Yeah.
Claymation. As I say, just the downfall of it is the people's expectations of it when it was released. That was the downfall. The promoting of it was all wrong. When this was being made, I think there was several Disney executives coming and going, leaving the jobs. So it was upheaval. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
I think
8.75. I think we're verging there. Gene Marsh has just tipped it a bit more.
Isn't that right? She just does that. She just brings you up, right? That's amazing. Yeah. So
I think as well they made a mistake on calling it The Return to Oz. It makes it sound like you're going back to the original version of Oz, the original film.
Yeah.
Because they called it The Return to Oz, it makes it sound like you're going back.
is that the name of the book?
It's going to be another musical.
I think the reason that they chose that title is because of the book.
The book.
They should have called it the other book.
They could have called it like
They should have called
Ozma
it.
of Oz.
Yeah, that's what they should have called it.
Well, this was based on two books. It was based on Ozma of Oz and The Land of Oz.
Well, call it The Land of Oz. Just call it The Land of Oz. Calling it The Return to Oz, I think, was a big mistake. Because it makes you just think of the original. And it makes you think, oh, we're going to go back to the original with the original cast, or well, not all the original cast because they weren't alive at that point, but back to the original land of it, back to the original version, where this is a different version of Oz. This is a different land of Oz. This isn't the one we knew before. So I think that was a real mistake. But saying that, I think this film is really good. I think there's no songs in it, but the music's good. The score is very good, and the animatronics, the claymation, they're all excellent. But I think one key thing that this film got right was casting Dorothy. I think she really is. The girl is a really good choice for Dorothy. And
What's her name, Alid?
I don't know what's her name.
Well, I'm going to pronounce her name.
I know what is her name.
You know what her name is?
No.
Perusa Bulk.
Perusa Bod.
Feruza Balk.
Perusa Bulk. Perusa Bulk.
Feruza.
Perusa. I got it. Perusa Bulk.
No, fair, as in fun fair. Fair.
Oh, Ferusa. Oh, Ferusa Bulk.
Yeah.
Ferusa Bulk. Yeah, she was great. I think she was brilliant casting for it. I think all the cast were great. And Gene Marsh, it's going to knock it up a point. But you see, now I'm going to go back and compare it to the musical one and say it's not as good as that, because you can't get much better than that. That is a timeless classic for a reason. But on its own, which I take this film on its own, I think this film was definitely a 9, at least.
And of
Because
course,
I think it's very well put together. It's entertaining as anything. You can sit back and I just watched the whole thing. I never got bored. In fact, it was 2 hours, but it felt shorter than 2 hours because it just never got boring.
and of course, we're forgetting about the theme park in America in North Carolina. Apparently, there's an Oz theme park. So it does have fans. I mean, it does have fans as well.
Yeah, I think
they
more
probably-
people need to watch this. Don't
This
listen to
movie
what
has fans?
No, I said
Critic fans.
Oz has fans.
But
have
does
said.
we have fans?
Yeah.
We don't have fans, no.
Yeah.
The film does. You have fans, Susan.
No, I don't.
You do.
I don't. I'm not
You have
famous.
loads of them.
I am not famous. I am not a celebrity. I
No,
do
I
not
didn't say
have fans.
fame. I just said you had fans. You know.
Oh, rotary
Yeah,
ventilator
yeah.
devices?
Yeah.
Very, very funny. So,
So I just want to say, if Gene Marsh is watching this, you are welcome anytime you like on Geeks Assembled. Isn't that right, Susan?
yeah, quite right. Quite right. Yeah, absolutely. We would love to have you.
I remember watching Gene Marsh growing up on Ghost Hunters.
What about Upstairs,
Children's
Downstairs? The original Downton Abbey.
That's
I
right.
never watched that.
Yeah, he wrote it.
Yeah. Well,
She
no,
wrote it?
that was partially.
Yeah.
Did she?
And
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she also wrote The House of Elliot, which was the 90s, but they were dressmakers in that series. Yeah, and she was also a robot in the Twilight Zone as well, the original.
But whoever cast her, I think it was genius casting, because she
Oh, yeah.
does make a good evil villain, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She does make a good witch or something like that. You know.
I mean, this was only several years before reappearing in Doctor Who anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great in
mean-
that. She was brilliant in that. Yeah.
She has played
She's down to the
the
ground.
most powerful evil characters.
Yeah.
Morgaine and the headless.
Yeah. This type of role suits her down to the ground. Yeah.
No, I agree.
It's a shame she wasn't really the main villain, I suppose. Yeah, but
I agree.
she was brilliant. Yeah. So that's it. I'd like to thank everybody here for watching. Joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to like our videos as well and watch the others, because we've got loads. And we upload at least twice a week, don't we, Lee? We upload. And if you want to join us, then Lee's always hanging around somewhere. So, yes, look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.